Good morning, everyone. Sorry about the uh, congested sort of voice there. I've got the allergy thing going. Today is Thursday, May the 25th, and this is the Moneyball Morning Report for the Benzinga Pro platform. We have got ourselves a market that is really running just on the news of NVDA. And NVDA was up, I don't know, maybe almost $100 from the low at the high. So that was pretty remarkable. And right now, we had the jobs numbers come in, and they still look pretty good. And so this is telling us that they have room to continue to raise rates, which has thrown gold off a cliff. Didn't really expect that one, and it's really pushed the dollar right back up into the 104 area. So a lot going on in the currency markets this morning. Very quickly, what are we doing? We are inside of the prior week. Right, here's 41.63 to 41.64. We're sitting right under that ledge. It's a break. Traders are coming in around 41.50. They came in low at around last week's low at 41.20. Big number, chopping around a bit, and then it took hold and finally started to move. So that really is where we are. Should we push up? Potentially, yes. It depends how many people are short and caught flat-footed. Notice this 2-day up absolutely collapsed with 2 days down. What does that normally bring us? It normally brings us another bounce into the area. So I expect pullbacks will be buy zones today in general, all form and fashion. Okay, so look for the long action to continue. Where do things start breaking down? If we get to 41.50 and traders lose that zone, that's going to be, the area that we fade. Now, we're 15 points above that, so what do you want to look for? Well, you want to look for the high of yesterday being a target zone, right? And that's 66.25 coming into that region. And if we look at that, actually I have a position on right now. I need to flatten this. Coming into that range, right? We're going to see buyers start taking some profit. We're going to see sellers start trying to step in. But the fade should give us a buy zone because we are simply in this up and down and up and down, complete zigzag pattern without really moving through a big range. Now, let's take a look at the NQ. Looks completely different. Tech is exploding higher. A lot of people short simply because the narrative is if interest rates rise, then tech will not be able to manage where they are. And of course, that was not true because here's tech being a beast coming into last week's high. Now, what's going to be up here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Well, this could be the 5th day of sellers that go, hey, I'm taking some profit. Or it could be a day of an expansion to the upside. My thought is that they are going to try for this expansion to get to 14,000, maybe a little bit over, and then they're going to fade. Remember, we're moving off of one piece of data, right? One piece of data, and that comes from NVIDIA and the fact that it's, going to be the first $1 trillion chip company, right? So there we go. There we have it. That's all there is to it. Moving up above here, I don't see anything holding this chart back from really expanding. So This is a likely target in the future, but pullbacks into the support zones are where you want to look for buying areas. And again, you want to stop buying at old highs. You want to take some profit, wait for the fade, see if it comes back. It come back 70 points. I have no idea. 13,907 support zone, and then we run into the next space. All right, let's look at SPY. Right? SPY has moved, look at that, off of this low, it's moved, wow, I mean, 1.5%, just like that, right? So what we have to do is think to ourselves, okay, what is the chart doing? And again, it's moving up and moving down, and moving up and moving down. Still a pervasive bid beneath, but sellers also sitting up top. The difference here is that there is really, that kind of motion to give us upside pressure, right? From a daily formation, really, we're sitting somewhere around this zone, right? And so expect higher highs, but don't expect them to continue high without testing, collapsing, and heading back into heavy congestion. That usually is a higher low. We've come right back into last week's low. We did that the week before that. We did the same thing, bounced right off of it. 410, long action. Let's see where we go today. If we collapse off of 416 and fade again, we're going to fall back into congestion. I do not know the directions of these markets, folks. I really do not. They are very unstable to me, extremely unstable. So I'm very tactical with my approach of motion and what I want to see. Okay, so I'm looking at small time frames. I'm looking at the daily levels that hold support and resistance, and I'm trying to position on the edges of support and taking them out at the edges of resistance. So far, this looks like a brand new range that it's moving into. Above 340, price action is going to try to move to 345. Will it go straight in a line? I don't think so, but it could. It very well could, right? What we do know is there's a shot that we can certainly move upward, and that pullbacks into support give us buy zones. 331 on the baseline of support, 327 very deep, 345 on the top end, 336, that's the area we want to buy, right? If it comes in there and allows us to. Okay, folks, that's it for me. Stepping into a meeting, and I will see you all in the chat.